If you walk into a doctor's office today, they'll wrap that cuff around your arm, the pump will hiss, and a few seconds later, you'll see two numbers on a screen. For decades, we've been told that 120/80 is the gold standard, the perfect score. But as we cross the threshold of 60, 65, or 70, the rules of biology begin to shift. What was perfect at 30 might actually be dangerous at 75. On the other hand, letting your pressure run too high just because of age is a gamble with your brain and your heart. So what is the truth? Is there a sweet spot for blood pressure that protects your kidneys, prevents strokes, but also keeps you from feeling dizzy and falling? Today, we're going to dive deep into the latest clinical science to find out exactly what the best blood pressure is for the senior body and why the answer might surprise you. Quick note before we break down these numbers, I'm a health researcher, not a doctor. This is educational content. You should never, under any circumstances, change or stop your blood pressure medication based on a YouTube video. Always consult your healthcare provider before making adjustments to your treatment plan. To understand why the best blood pressure is a moving target, we first have to understand what those two numbers actually represent. Think of your circulatory system like the plumbing in a grand historic home. Your heart is the pump and your arteries are the pipes. The top number, the systolic pressure, measures the force when the pump is actively pushing water through the pipes. The bottom number, the diastolic pressure, is the force when the pump is resting between beats. As we age, our pipes naturally become a bit stiffer. It's a process called arteriosclerosis. Because the pipes don't stretch as easily as they used to, the pump has to work a little harder to move the same amount of blood. This is why blood pressure naturally tends to creep up as the candles on the birthday cake increase. For a long time, the medical community said, let it be. 140 or 150 is fine for an older person. But then came the landmark SPRINT trial, a massive study that changed everything. It suggested that for many seniors, pushing that top number down closer to 120 could significantly reduce the risk of heart failure and death. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. Aggressive treatment isn't for everyone. If pushing your pressure down to 120 makes you feel faint when you stand up, or if it puts too much stress on your kidneys, then that perfect number becomes a liability. The best pressure for you is the one that provides the maximum protection for your organs with the minimum amount of side effects. If you're finding this explanation helpful and it's clearing up some of the confusion, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps our community of health-conscious seniors stay informed, and it tells me you want more of these deep dives into longevity. And if you haven't joined us yet, subscribe. We're here every week making sense of the noise so you can stay active, sharp, and independent. Now let's talk about the J-curve phenomenon. This is a concept that every person over 60 needs to understand. If you imagine a graph shaped like the letter J, the bottom of the curve represents the lowest risk of heart attack or stroke. If your pressure is too high, your risk goes up. But, and this is the part people miss, if your pressure goes too low, your risk also starts to climb. Why? Because your brain and your heart need a certain amount of pressure to receive oxygenated blood. If the pressure is too low, the blood can't fight gravity to reach your brain. This leads to hypoperfusion, which can cause dizziness, falls, and over time may even contribute to cognitive decline. For many seniors, the sweet spot is often found between 120 and 135 systolic, but the diastolic, the bottom number, should ideally stay above 70 to keep the heart muscle well fed.
I'm curious, what was the last reading you had at your doctor's office? Do you feel different when your pressure is at a certain level? Let me know in the comments. We learn so much from each other's experiences, and your story might help someone else realize their symptoms aren't just age, but perhaps a result of their pressure being a bit off the mark. One of the biggest mistakes I see seniors make is relying solely on the reading at the doctor's office. Have you ever heard of white coat hypertension? It's a very real phenomenon where your blood pressure spikes simply because you're in a clinical setting, perhaps a bit nervous, or you had to rush from the parking lot to the exam room. If a doctor bases your entire prescription on that one high reading, you might end up over-medicated. This is why home monitoring is the most powerful tool in your health arsenal. Taking your pressure in the comfort of your own chair after sitting quietly for 5 minutes gives a much more accurate picture of your true pressure. The best pressure is your average pressure over a week, not a single snapshot in a stressful moment. We also have to talk about orthostatic hypotension. This is a fancy term for that head rush you get when you stand up too quickly. As we age, the sensors in your neck that tell the heart to pump harder when we stand up can become a bit sluggish. If your blood pressure medication is too aggressive, this effect is magnified. A fall in your 70s or 80s can be life-changing, and often those falls are caused by blood pressure that is technically perfect on paper, but too low for your actual daily movements. This is why many geriatric specialists are now leaning toward a more relaxed target of 130 or even 140 for patients who are frail or prone to dizziness. The goal isn't just a number, it's your safety. So how do we reach this sweet spot naturally? It's not just about pills. We have to look at the hidden influencers of blood pressure. The first is something we've discussed on this channel before: magnesium. Magnesium acts like a natural calcium channel blocker. It helps the smooth muscles of your blood vessels relax, which naturally lowers the resistance in those pipes we talked about. If you missed my video on the best types of magnesium for seniors, I'll link it at the end of this one. It's a game changer for many people who are trying to keep their pressure in that 120 to 130 range without adding more prescription drugs. The second influencer is your potassium to sodium ratio. Most people focus only on cutting out salt, but for the senior body, adding potassium is often more effective. Potassium helps your kidneys flush out excess sodium and eases the tension in your blood vessel walls. Think of sodium like a sponge that holds on to water in your pipes, increasing the pressure. Potassium is the valve that lets the extra water out. Foods like avocados, spinach, and even potatoes with the skin are vital for this balance. Then there is the silent thief of good blood pressure: sleep apnea. If you find yourself waking up with a headache or feeling exhausted despite spending 8 hours in bed, your blood pressure might be spiking during the night because you aren't breathing properly. When your oxygen drops, your body enters a fight or flight mode, sending your blood pressure through the roof while you sleep. No amount of medication can fully fix blood pressure that is being driven by untreated sleep apnea. And let's not forget the power of the daily walk. You don't need to run marathons. A brisk 20-minute walk does something incredible for your arteries. It stimulates the production of nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a gas that tells your blood vessels to dilate and stay flexible. It's like a natural grease for your pipes. The more you move, the more flexible your pipes remain, and the less work your pump has to do. Maintaining the best blood pressure after 60 is an act of balance. It's about being high enough to stay alert and steady on your feet, but low enough to protect your delicate brain tissue and kidney filters. It's about being an active participant in your healthcare. Don't be afraid to ask your doctor, why is 120 the goal for me specifically? Or can we try a slightly higher target so I don't feel so dizzy? A good physician will welcome that conversation. Your health is your greatest asset in this stage of life. When your blood pressure is optimized, your brain stays sharper longer, your heart stays stronger, and you have the stamina to enjoy your retirement. You aren't just a number on a chart, you are a person with a life to live. Take your pressure at home, keep a log, Eat your potassium-rich greens and keep moving. You're doing the work, and it's going to pay off. If you want to know how to support your blood pressure with the right minerals, you really should watch my video on the handbrake effect of magnesium next. It explains exactly how to relax your vascular system naturally. You've got this. Stay informed, stay active, and I'll see you in the next one.